Narcissistic personality disorder is a long-term pattern of abnormal behavior characterized by exaggerated feelings of self-importance and excessive need for admiration and lack of understanding of the feelings of others.
Empaths usually have a really hard time dealing with narcissists. Even simple everyday interactions can be such a struggle that it can be very tempting to call them out. But what really happens when the empath calls the narcissist out? They will respond with rage. Can narcissists take criticism?
Nope.
Narcissists are very interesting people, but only by getting to know one will you witness how their minds work.
In other words, Googling the definition or even reading the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders will not give you a complete description of what a narcissist is and the way that their mind works. The only way you truly know what a narcissist is and the way that they act is if you've had a personal relationship with one.
They are very quick to judge anything. They do this because they believe that they are the best thing that has ever happened. Though they can criticize people left and right,
they absolutely cannot take what they dish out.
So when an empath calls them out, they respond with so much indignation you'd think the person killed their dog.
Everyone has an ego. A healthy, strong ego is the basis of a successful, driven individual. But what happens when an ego goes too far? When can someone really be called
a narcissist or
an egomaniac?
Sometimes I appear arrogant. Fucking sit down!
I enjoy inflicting pain on people. I'm a sadistic narcissist.
Anyone still doubting my claims that the narcissist is demonically possessed, meet Sam Vaknin. He is a self-proclaimed sadistic or diabolical narcissist who enjoys inflicting pain on other people.
So very often I would externalize my internal aggression in order to kind of enjoy the effects on people.
People are good and they don't deserve to be hurt. They don't deserve to be treated that way. And that you see vulnerability and you pounce on it like a fucking lion on a gazelle is wrong.
Not only is it wrong, it's pure evil. Let's take a look at how a narcissist is created.
A highly traumatic, highly painful environment, usually childhood. And it usually forms between two polarities where the child is being overtly abused and neglected and then also being spoiled in some way that is also boundaryless. So you might have an abusive father and then an apologetic, guilt-ridden mother. The father abuses and then the mother overcompensates for the child. Is that child then going to spend the rest of their life experiencing huge amounts of anxiety and depression? Yes.
There are 7 different types of narcissists: the overt narcissist, the covert narcissist, the sexual narcissist, the oblivious narcissist, the exhibitionist narcissist, the hypervigilant narcissist, and my target demographic, the malignant or quote-unquote diabolical narcissist. This is what Sam Vaknin would be.
I have the most extreme form of narcissism, narcissistic personality disorder, where there is a total disruption there's total emotional dysregulation. Emotions are inaccessible, perhaps because they are threatening, but they're inaccessible, that's a fact, and so on. So I don't emote. I have no emotions whatsoever, except a few negative emotions, such as anger or envy, or to some extent hatred.
So from the narcissist's mouth himself, they feel absolutely no emotions whatsoever, except the 4 emotions that we classify as the demonic emotional palette: anger, envy, hatred, and fear.
When I started realizing all this mess was about 2 years ago when I started having problems with my husband, and I just didn't quite understand why. I've been trying to do everything I've been taught. Why it's not working? We went to a therapist in the hopes of making our relationship better. I had to push for that. She mentioned to me, your husband is a narcissist and you're a codependent.
A codependent would be the flip side of the narcissist coin, meaning that the codependent is an outer reflection of the narcissist's inner state of being, which is a constant state of need. The codependent feels the need to be needed, and therefore gets used by the narcissist for what we call narcissistic supply.
I'm a narcissist, so my main motivation is what is called narcissistic supply. Essentially attention. Narcissistic supply is a fancy name for attention.
Everything that the narcissist does is
For attention.
attention is the official narcissistic currency. Attention is worth more to a narcissist than silver and gold.
I'm also getting money, but that's a secondary consideration. Narcissistic supply, attention, is what I use to regulate my sense of self-worth. You see, my sense of self-worth, as opposed to normal people or healthy people, fluctuates constantly. It's labile. It goes up and down. And when it's down, it's very down. And so I need to regulate it. I need to stabilize it by having people telling me that I am as fantastic, as grandiose, as omniscient, as omnipotent, as brilliant, and as perfect as I imagine myself to be.
The mental and emotional instability of the narcissist is largely due to the polarized environments that most narcissists grew up in. This would be an environment where one parent is neglectful and abusive, and the other parent overcompensates by deifying or quote-unquote spoiling the child. This creates a bipolarity in the emotional and mental states of the child, and as the child grows, this bipolarized state of being, due to the law of hypnotic rhythm, becomes a permanent state of being.
Or do you think that people have to compliment you because you do feel that you're superior, actually?
I believe that you believe
And
that.
yeah, so you...
I believe that you believe that.
Okay,
However, it's completely irrelevant to me what you believe.
okay, yeah.
They are addicted to attention, adulation, adoration. You have to look up to them, and you do, because they're really wonderful. They're really wonderful in the beginning, and so you're just like blown away. This is the best man I've ever known, and then they become your worst nightmare. So what you're doing is you're giving them what they need. They give you what you want, which is this like Cinderella dream thing, and then what's happening is they make you addicted to like this love bombing thing, and then the mask falls because they feel, oh, I got her. I can chill now. I can relax. I can be myself. And what they call that is the mask. Now the mask starts to fall, and you start to see these cracks, and they'll slip up, and, oh, I don't want to go with your family to dinner. Who wants to meet your family? Oh, your friend's an asshole. They start to criticize things in your life that are important to you because they feel threatened by it, because they have to overpower you and control everything that's important to you. So once you start to, all of a sudden you're criticizing, they take it as a criticism if you counter anything they say.
It's a bad idea doing anything to a narcissist that threatens their hyper-idealized self-image, because they will punish you very severely. You can be punished by a narcissist simply for existing without needing them. They can find that threatening. You can be punished by a narcissist simply for saying politely, no, I don't wish to do that. It's an extremely cruel internal world in which they live, which is why that cruelty is mirrored outward to their victims.
My then boyfriend had tried to kill me more than once. But I didn't understand that this was all a game. And I didn't understand it was a really dangerous game.
By force or by guile, you will play this game with me, or I will destroy you and kick you out of my little world.
I had ran to my car, and he jumped my car, and he came in, and I don't know why I let him get in the driver's side. And we started to drive towards the Brooklyn Bridge, and he told me he was gonna run us off the bridge and kill us. And so that was the first time I had ever begged for my life.
It's a haunted house. The narcissist personality is a haunted house. So you need Ghostbusters.
Or a spiritual worker such as myself. And
no therapist.
So this self-proclaimed malignant or diabolical narcissist is supporting my claim that narcissism is not just an antisocial personality disorder, but it is in fact a spiritual affliction. An affliction that must be discerned and dealt with on a spiritual level. Okay?
In order for me to live a life where I'm abusing people without ever being wrong, without ever being, how is that? You have to have a truly insane psychotic level of a break with reality. And you're constantly ducking and diving like ninjas, like psychological ninjas, trying to dodge the laser beams of responsibility where somebody would say, that doesn't even make sense. How could you be, if the person was a perfect idealized version on Monday, how could they be devalued on Friday? That means you were wrong. Well, I'm never wrong.
In the same conversation, a narcissist will present to you two opposing realities that could not possibly be true at the same time and insist that you agree.
That doesn't even make sense.
And though it doesn't make sense, if you don't agree, the narcissist will punish you by either becoming severely abusive or abruptly withdrawing their presence and whatever peace, comfort, or security that their presence may have brought to your life, from your life, with no explanation, no apology, and no goodbye. So unless you concede to join the narcissist in their insanity by agreeing with something that makes absolutely no sense to you, the narcissist will attempt to destroy you in some way, shape, or form. So the overall message you get as an abuse survivor is, allow me to drive you insane, or I'm going to hurt you worse than you've ever been hurt in your entire life. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
It's all right to be arrogant as long as you're not ignorant and you're the best at your job. Okay? And I am the best at my job. So sometimes I appear arrogant. Okay? That's only because I'm the best. I can go from Mika Mild to complete nutcase like that. Okay? And back to Mika Mild like that.
He thinks he is the best at everything. He is. No matter what you've done, where you've been, he's done it and he's done it better. He's the best skier. He's the best racing driver. He's the best boxer. He's the best market operator. He's the best in bed. He's the best at life. He's got the best girlfriends. He's got the best car. Everything you can think of, he thinks he's at the top. And sometimes I think, come back down to earth a little bit.
All narcissists think this way. They see life as a competition and they must be at the top, or else there will be an attempt to destroy the competition by whatever means necessary. The word narcissism is used very loosely in today's society. However,
the true definition of the word relates to something far more sinister. Professor Jeremy Coyd is a forensic psychiatrist. He studied the ego for over 40 years. From teenage truants to mass murdering psychopaths, he's experienced the full spectrum of what the ego is capable of. Psychologists have defined a list of 9 characteristics associated with narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. Many of us display these traits but learn to control them. But for those who cannot, like a pressure gauge, danger arises when the needle hits red. David sits on the next rung of the ladder. He has 4 characteristics associated with NPD, and the most dominant one is a lack of empathy. For fear of losing his job, he wishes to remain anonymous.
I felt it very much on September 11th, as a matter of fact. I mean, everybody seemed very shaken up by September 11th. And I thought, I don't live in New York. And I thought, boy, this isn't normal. Normal people don't feel this disconnected from the rest of humanity.
They don't really care. They don't care if you're hurt. They won't be sad if you're heartbroken. These individuals are ultimately unable to love. They don't have true, deep feelings of caring for others. But actually lack of true feelings, lack of feelings of guilt, lack of feelings of remorse.
I went to my father's funeral, and people, you know, who are barely related to my dad are standing around crying. I wasn't happy that my father died, but I mean, I wasn't upset enough to cry. And I don't know why that is. I mean, because there's a certain amount of emotional barrenness involved in narcissism.
Not only is there a certain amount of emotional barrenness involved in narcissism, there's also a certain amount of demonic possession involved. Depending upon the severity of the condition in each individual case, the narcissist either has demonic attachments or a demonic infestation. Either way, the narcissist has spiritual insight. Okay?
They are able instantly to diagnose the weaknesses, vulnerabilities, soft spots, predilections, fears, hopes, and emotional needs of everyone around them, and to put it to use instantaneously, relentlessly, and ruthlessly. Narcissists never regret what they do, simply because they do not hold themselves responsible to the consequences of their actions.
What actions, you ask?
They taunt, they torture, they sadistically inflict pain, sometimes unnecessarily, mainly on their underlings. They are obsequious to the higher-ups and sadists to their underlings.
Most people who have suffered at the hands of a narcissist never get their voices heard. This is because the narcissist has manipulated everything and everyone around them to make the victim look like the abuser and the abuser like the victim. Check it out.
I became totally lacking in confidence.
I was feeling ill.
I felt crushed.
So I knew that I was under greater pressure than I could bear.
I didn't feel like getting out of bed.
I became extremely explosive at home because I was a complete nightmare to live with.
No way was I ever going to have a mental breakdown. But by God, it happened.
I'm not a person who would ever commit suicide, but the sort were very persistent.
Narcissists resent weaknesses, resent vulnerabilities, and as a result, they resent weak people, vulnerable people. That means that narcissists have an inbred aversion to children, the elderly, sick people, weak people, vulnerable people. Actually, this provokes in the narcissist a sadistic impulse to inflict further pain, to exploit the vulnerability, to enhance the weakness, to prey upon it. Narcissists are predators, and wounded animals are the ideal prey.
Unsurprisingly, it's far more common to find someone who knows a narcissist rather than someone admits to being one. Dr. Sam Vaknin pointed us in the right direction.
Leading a cult where critical faculties are suspended, where people are mere instruments of gratification, where discipline is maintained, where criticism is unheard of. This is the wet dream of the narcissist.
I'm a thought. Bitch, I'm a thought. You feel me?
To be at the center of a group of unreflecting...
And look at the way he talks.
Unthinking...
Like he spits some real, like, for real...
Totally obedient people.
How do I smell, though? Smell me. How do I smell?
You smell good. He smell good and manly and, like, cologne-y. But he smell like he ain't about that fuck shit.
The cult leader is the perfect example of an extreme narcissistic personality.
What's good, nigga? I know you ain't gonna let these niggas disrespect me like this, Sean. Sean, what's up, nigga? Send me your number again, bro. Sean, nigga, what's up, nigga? What's going on tonight, nigga? I'm in the A, nigga. What's up?
He typically has 7 or 8 traits. The most dominant ones being excessive need for admiration.
Oh, nigga, I know you ain't gonna let these niggas show out like this on me, man. Run me up, man. I got you, nigga.
and exploitation of others.
Hey, look, come here. I got all these girls with me. Look, come. Show her. Look at her. Show the woman. Show the ladies. Ladies.
Let's go.
Ladies, come on. Hey, Sean, I got the woman with me. Come on, come through. Come on. Come on. Hey, look. They here, Sean. Hey, Sean, I got you tonight. Drinks on me, nigga.
Bob Pardon has studied cults for 15 years. He runs a self-help group for victims and believes religion is the perfect tool for a narcissist to control others.
We're going to be dealing this time with narcissistic personality disorder. And a number of years ago, Judy and I came across the material of a man by the name of Sam Vaknin. And you've probably never heard of this man before, but we have found that his material has been extremely helpful to us in working with folks who have come out of destructive groups. Well, from our perspective, the profile of a cult leader seems to fit almost like a hand in a glove a narcissistic personality disorder.
Sean, I'm coming to drinks on me tonight, nigga. That's my word. And we going live, and I'm gonna show everybody. I'm buying all drinks. I'm buying all drinks tonight.
MPDs are drawn to cult leadership primarily because religion is tailor-made for their fantasies. What better manifestation than to be like God?
Of all the cult leaders, it would be hard to find a bigger egomaniac than
Nature Boy.
Narcissists never accept responsibility. It's not like the narcissist is likely to come forward and proudly say, I'm a narcissist, and it's not something to be proud of. And it's not something the narcissist admits to.
But after 2 days of interviewing the world's leading expert on NPD, it soon became clear why Dr. Sam Vaknin was such an authority on the subject.
I've been diagnosed with the narcissistic personality disorder, and therefore I'm a narcissist. And all the traits that I've enumerated before exist abundantly within me, I'm afraid.
We had finally found a level 9 narcissist. Sam is unique. He not only has all 9 traits, but he's been aware of his condition for over 20 years.
I'm a self-aware narcissist, which is a rarity. Most narcissists are not self-aware. They have no introspection. They don't have the ability to step aside and look at themselves and realize that they are the source of their own misfortunes, defeats, and troubles. But self-awareness is not like healing, is not the same as healing. If one is aware that one is a cocaine addict, that doesn't wean him off the drug.
In a drastic attempt to cure himself, Sam has lived in a self-imposed exile in Eastern Europe.
I was first diagnosed with the narcissistic personality disorder in 1984 or 5. My narcissism affected each and every field of my life. Cut. Let's start from the beginning.
Sam's authority on the subject is second to none, but filming a level 9 narcissist was never going to be easy.
I'm unable to sustain long-term relationship. I don't feel, I have no emotions that I'm aware of. Just a second, these kids should them? I don't know why people are not born adults. Absolutely unnecessary stage. I'm unable to work with other people in teams. I am unable to hold on to a job. Actually, I'm unable to sustain any kind of social interaction. No, forget this. It's very bad. Really? Cut. Beginning. And the result, of course, is that I am a social recluse. No, cut. I mean, we start again. Let's go on to the next questions. The thing I really miss, and that I would have liked to experience, is the ability to feel, the ability to emote, and the ability to relate to other people as full-fledged, three-dimensional individuals. That was so-so, but I hope it captured the spirit of it. I feel sad most of the time. I feel depressed most of the time. I wish I were different. I don't think, however, that this is possible. No, cut that. No, let's start again.
Although Sam admits his inability to have any type of emotion, he has a wife, Lydia, who chooses to stay with him, despite his condition.
Regardless of what people might think of us, Lydia and I are compatible, and to some extent I think we are happy.
Yeah. We exchange. He takes what he needs from me, I take what I need from him. My father was extreme narcissist, so I developed some senses how to cope with him, to be, you know, peaceful, to avoid shoutings, to avoid the verbal, and to avoid physical abuse by his side.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, the noise is not... No, I mean, but the noise is not...
No, it's fine.
Right.
Why you are so aware of the environment? Why does it disturb you? Why does it disturb you?
I fully realize that if the kids scream or music starts...
Look, it's not your business. Someone else takes care about it, so enough.
But I'm not in control.
Yes, so no, you are too much of a control. You must have control of everything, so it's not that
I must direct Mark, directing me.
Yeah.
I need to be in absolute control. I need to be in absolute control of people. I need to be in absolute control of situations. I am a control freak. You are directing this film. I don't like that. I want to direct this film. You know, I'm the authority. I'm the supreme authority. I'm far superior to you. I'm omnipotent. I'm omniscient. You know, and you are challenging me not by doing anything. You know, you're a very nice guy, but you're challenging me by your mere existence and by your mere position. You know, you're telling me what to do. Because I need to be in control, and because I'm grandiose in my self-perception, I challenge authority all the time. And because I challenge authority unsuccessfully all the time, I rage.
Sam is able to offer a unique insight into why an extreme narcissist can suddenly rage uncontrollably, as Brian Blackwell's defense claimed that he'd done.
When I feel insulted or injured, I feel that I have been negated, that I've been annihilated. I feel that I'm dissolving into molecules. I feel that my very being, the core of my being, my essence, is being threatened directly. And I feel that I have to immediately restore balance by nothing less or nothing short of eliminating the source of frustration. It's not really vengefulness or vindictiveness. It's a desperate attempt to kill. Even the slightest hint of criticism or disagreement threatens the precarious balance that I've created over many years. The balance that constitutes my personality. You are out to destroy and kill me, so I'm out to destroy and kill you.
Dr. Sam Vaknin, Brian Black.
It's very difficult to cure personality disorder. Personality disorder, by its very definition, is an enduring and stable part of somebody's psychological makeup. But what you can do is that you can help people to control their traits.
Many therapists and mental health professionals will tell you that narcissism is treatable, that it can be either reversed or utterly cured, or at least some of the behaviors can be modified. And that is largely untrue. Narcissism is the narcissist's personality. You can't cure the narcissist because you can't take away his personality.
It's estimated that there are as many as 6 million people worldwide who may be suffering from varying degrees of NPD. But with such an underdiagnosed condition, that number could be far greater.
So it's very difficult to know who exactly has it.
Unless, of course, you're spiritually discerning, in which case it is very clear to see. Otherwise,
if you are narcissistic, you think that you are better than other people, you're great, so you're not going to go to the doctor and complain.
What is certain is that those diagnosed with narcissistic personalities, in other words, true egomaniacs, satisfy their need by preying on others. And for that reason, they will never go hungry.
We are superior subspecies. We transcend humanity. We are Nietzsche's Superman. We deserve the subservience and the availability of everyone around us. Luckily, every year 100 million people are born throughout the world. We have 100 million new choices every year.
I smell like gas, and I smell like deodorant, and like I smell like Dove, and I smell like organic stuff.
You better know that. You better know that.
I need some new glasses to be fashion. That ass, you can't say. This shit is real. This shit is real, bitch. I don't need no veneers, hoe. Fuck you talking about, bitch. I don't need the veneers, hoe. Bitch, I'm forever 13. I'm starting a new company. What are you talking about?
I can't get no tips on that though. I'm gonna end this live.